What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcast from RAF ESPARZA coming to you with another great installment of the Grappling Hours and the Inside BJJ, the Bullpen. You know what's so weird? I forgot to wear something today. Oh, look at what I'm wearing today. What an apropos hat to be wearing. One that apparently makes Ariel Helwani cry just by the sight of it. It's okay. We don't mind not being the classiest, not being the one that played the best baseball. We're the ones that won. And when you're Ariel Helwani and you're sitting there and you're thinking about things to say about the Los Angeles Dodgers, you might want to remember that it was this guy that warned you he would have the absolute worst takes. And yet, he was challenged by one Jason Kelsey, who this week said, "Oh, I'll see your stupidity and raise you 15 Aljos." And in that metric, you're looking at it and thinking to yourselves, all this just because you didn't win baseball. Anyways, we're having a great time over here. I'm going to go to my friend Tim, who also hates the Los Angeles Dodgers, but does love baseball. So I'm intrigued to hear what Tim has to say. Tim, your thoughts.
Look, yes, I do hate the Los Angeles Dodgers. That is a very true thing, but I'm a home team guy. So not a super fan of the Toronto Blue Jays. Why? Because they're not from America. That's why. So I'm going for the Dodgers, even though they're not from America either. Nobody's really counting that.
So hold on. Wait. I have all I need from here. I'm 100% just clipping that for perpetuity. So hold on, Tim, I need to make sure of something. What did you say immediately following you were not going to be rooting for Canada? So like, what were the words that you just uttered after that?
They're not Americans.
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
Nope. I feel like you said something else. Like you were saying like, man, if it's not gonna be my team or literally any other team, I'm going for America. Therefore, what, who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for the team based out of the West Coast.
You know, honestly, I'll take that.
Me into an entrapped situation.
I mean, I just want to know, would you say you express the following sentiment? I love LA.
Oh, man.
Would you be more in the realm of saying, we love it? Or are you in that like Naked Gun feel where you want to express it multiple times? We love it. We love it. We love it. Do you feel like you're in that pocket?
No, I don't. Listen, I love Randy Newman. I don't hate Los Angeles as a city. I like Southern California. I'm a California boy, man.
So
I'm
born
and raised here.
I love LA.
I love LA. Yeah, man, it's all good. Not a Dodger fan, and you know that, Raf. My blood is black and orange, baby. Let's go. However, I don't like Ariel Helwani too much, and I'll tell you why.
What's that?
I hate him more than I hate the Dodgers, Raf. That's how much I hate him. Listen,
we love it.
The thing about
we love it. We love it.
This is how Helwani's been, man. He's not a fighter. He's not a jiu-jitsu guy, but he talks about jiu-jitsu. But all these dorks that do that, they think in the back of their mind, the one thing I got is I know other sports better than you. I got baseball. I'm a baseball. Why? Because I'm a dork and I know statistics. And I've looked at the numbers and my team's going to win. Well, his team didn't win. And I really took pleasure in that. Now, having said that, I would have been just as satisfied if the Los Angeles Dodgers, don't confuse them with the LA Angels of Anaheim, that's God's team. If the Los Angeles Dodgers would have lost, I would have been just as happy. I mean, I love Raf. I would have felt bad for Raf knowing that it sucks when your team loses. However, I still would have been, hey, either way, I was going to look. It's better to watch two teams that you hate than to watch a team that you love, because two teams that you hate, you're going to go home satisfied because one of them's going to go home crying. So great World Series, by the way. Look, what's up with Mookie Betts' chain? That chain is probably cutting 12 stolen off of his record. That thing is so freaking big. When he's running, it's like popping up and down, jumping all over, swiveling, man. It's bigger than he is.
I have to tell you, there is a very fabulous person on the Instagram that has been discussing all of the Dodgers like chain and bling. And it's fascinating because it's shit that I look at. Like I don't wear chains. I'm not interested. I have to afford camera equipment. I don't have time to tell people, oh, look, I have this amount of money. Look at me. Or I don't have fancy friends like a Jackson podcast person that just goes, here, wear this. Huh? So when I look at these guys and I saw him breaking down the chains and he was getting into how much they are estimated to be, I was like, I mean, that makes sense, but it still feels like a house payment to most of us when you hear these things. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you're wearing that on your chain or your neck, sir? That's amazing. But I guess I should reveal why. Give me a second here. Okay. Tim brought up some great points. Ariel Helwani, listen, dude, I was supposed to call off the whole you can hate Ariel Helwani thing. And then you just kept saying dumber shit. And I want to like you because you do good work. So in the same episode that you're like, hey, everybody, I just want to say, I mean, yeah, sure, I'm salty. That basically negates anything that you could say about me because I'm admitting that I'm salty. But the better team didn't win. And also, Kike, you're not even like a superstar player. Yamamoto can talk trash, but like you didn't do anything. False. But you can't talk trash because you're not like an important person. Only important people can say things. And if I'm really being honest, Kike, you fumbled. You fumbled when you were making fun of the person who fumbled. You couldn't even get the sentence out in the same way that Kike couldn't do it. And Kike was actually drunk, so he had a reason. And when you're in a major stadium, you have to learn how to actually pronounce words that go all the way to the back row. I thought you were a wrestling fan. I thought you would know that. But Kike did the line. And I have to be honest with you, Conor McGregor only had 2 championships when he said that. Kike has tres. So I think he can say it. And honestly, Kike's won just as many fights as Conor McGregor has in the 2020s. So there's that. I guess what I'm saying is this, Ariel. I want to get past this, but you keep doing dumb things on Twitter. And I know part of it's rage bait. I get it. It works. But I can't tell you how many of those things that I have seen that have clowned you in ways that, as you know and I know, do affect you as a credibility guy. And the one thing we have to have when we have these positions is some sort of fixture of credibility. And the thing is, you know the stats. You know them well. So even when you're saying that Kike wasn't really important or that all these other people had beautiful baseball, well, they didn't have beautiful baseball in those last couple innings. So it's about winning the whole thing. And I'll tell you this, you are allowed to love and rep for your city, and I will do the same right now. The beautiful part about going to a parade, yes, I do normally think parades are dumb, but I wanted to see something nice. Everything in the news is shit, so I actually wanted to go out and experience LA. There were so many people, so happy. It was great to see. So in the same way I wish you to love your city, great, you can enjoy that. Los Angeles came together, had an incredible parade, was very fun. And I'm talking about being in a city where I didn't even go when Shaq and Kobe won because I thought, like, parades are weird. You shouldn't go to that. But in these dark times, good Lord. Now I see why Star Wars ended with a parade at the end of every episode. After you go
That's right.
with all the freaking dark elements in the world and you kill some Sith folks who are ruining your lives, Yeah, you probably want a yub yub or nub yub, whatever it was. It's been deleted, so it's really hard to remember exactly how they yelled that one. But nub yub is these little Ewoks, and that's the song they were singing. You kids don't have that. You just have orchestra music and then Hayden Christensen coming in. It's very confusing, I know. But look up nub yub if you have not done it before. Anyway, Tim, we have other things to talk about, but I have to say you were very kind throughout. We did appreciate your support. It did feel weird at times to hear you saying how much you were enjoying the series, especially when you were enjoying me probably on my 12th or 20th panic attack, as you're just like, this is fun. I was like, false. This is terrible. And I hate life. And I will tell you, when we did get the final home run, do you know what I yelled out at the bar?
I probably had an expletive in it, I would think.
It did. I don't know if I need to say that part, but it did involve me saying, free us from this hell, because we had already been through 18 innings. We were going into extra innings on the game 7 of the World Series. And I just grabbed somebody by their shirt and I was just like, let this end. It's gone on for too long.
Yeah, that was a real nail biter. It was entertaining games. And if you love baseball, those are really fun. World Series baseball is usually really fun to watch. And this one was it was the team, the Blue Jays and the Dodgers, for as much as I disliked them, were relatively matched well. Although I think LA probably came in as a more powerful team, having that they won the World Series last year. Right. So they kind of came in as
this is a weird thing that happens here. And this was the issue that I think people have with Jason Kelce, who, by the way, his brother, isn't that the group of people that they accuse the refs of being bought for that team, for the Chiefs? Anyway, that doesn't matter. It only matters because it's baseball. And then when Jason Kelce's just like, yeah, you expect me to get excited for a Canadian team? Yeah, dude, open your eyes. They're part of baseball. If you had an issue with it, you would have brought it up. Maybe when they became an official team. Shut up. And 51 million people watched Game 7. So not every one of those people was going to be a Blue Jays or Dodgers fan. And the whole claim that it's just like, hey, I hate that people can just buy a team. Listen, dude, I don't know how to tell you this. The money thrown at any point of that game was not an assurance. Because when you watch those games, they were so tense. We're talking the winners of that game had to end the game with just classic baseball. Very clean plays, nothing fancy, nothing super insane, not a grand slam. These were just freaking attrition wars. Money didn't buy you that.
They really were.
That was a lot of heart. That was a lot of great playing. That was grit. Like, seeing how many innings these guys played, you had to have respect for them. So him saying this foolish take at one of the most beautiful World Series in recent memory is absolutely insane, because it meant people were excited for sports. So, Jason Kelce, I usually like you. Huge L take. Huge. Just ridiculous. Speaking of L takes, why don't we give some about the world of jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts? Tim, before we go, we should say Kevin threw this one through his number game, I'm sure. And I'm sure we could get the stats on all of those baseball figures. So Kevin needs to run the numbers, and we will invite him back to do that. But thank you for that, Buji Gatami. All right, let's start off with the number one news of the week. This one's kind of ridiculous, but I guess it makes sense if you really start to think about it. It looks like the UFC is under heavy scrutiny with the FBI, with accusations there may have been some fixed fights. This has been something that has been a long-standing, quietly spoken sort of thing in the world of mixed martial arts. because people say nobody fixes fights. And now some people are starting to come forward saying that they have been given some opportunities to potentially throw fights. So, Tim, what say you to this breaking news this week?
Not shocked. I hate to say this to sports fans, but you're always such a believer in these athletes and the sanctity of the sports. Fights have been fixed, sports have been fixed, just like dudes were on steroids for a long, long time before people were like woke up and realized, oh my gosh, they do this in sports. There's too much money being thrown around. And in this particular case, it is a little odd. I did watch the fight that's in question right now is the Isaac Delgarian versus Yater Devalle. And in that fight, I believe Yater was Yadier was the favorite and didn't really defend the choke. It did look odd. It did look like maybe something's going on. And on the back end, what always happens every time there's some kind of fix in sports betting is the numbers change, and these sports makers, they're crunching numbers, they're sharing data, they're looking. It's just not like a couple of Italian guys in a back room. I mean, those guys are probably there, but behind those guys is a bunch of digit heads with math degrees that are looking at this data, and they realize something's going on. There's too much action on this particular prop, on this particular fighter who never gets this much action. And the jig is up almost immediately. And so that's what's happened here. I'm not positive how this is going to shake out. Dana White came out. He addressed it. This happened a couple years ago. James Krause, right? He had a fighter that apparently was injured. And I don't know the full story, but allegedly he had a Discord group. People were paying to be in it. He was leaking betting tips. And Krause was doing great at the time. The UFC was giving him a big push as a coach, and he got banned. So it's not totally new. But one of the things is I'm trying to figure out, maybe you give me your take on this, Rap. A few fighters came out and said, yeah, I was offered money to throw a fight in the past. And what I'm trying to figure out is, are they just trying to yank the algorithm's chain here because they know fixed fights are so they're going to be like, yeah, me too. Look at my Insta. Because Dana White addressed that, and he said, like, yo, all these people coming out saying somebody offered you some money to fix a fight 2 years ago and you didn't report it or talk about it. We need to have a conversation. This is something that they really want to root out. And it's not for the sanctity of the sport. It's for the sanctity of sports betting. If people think that that's fixed, they're not going to put their money in it. And there's way, way, way too much money involved with sports betting to let that happen. So I expect them to do something. I don't know if they're going to majorly overhaul anything, but they're certainly not going to get rid of gambling. So I would expect them to get real tight on the athletes. But I think some of these people coming out, Raf, and saying they were offered to take a dive, I think they're just trying to jump in on get some shine while the sun's out.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, Tim, because I too have been offered to throw a UFC fight, and I thought that this was the right time to bring some attention to it. Listen, I'm not doing it for the attention or the algorithm to give the Bullpen more views, but one time, and I won't name names, I will wait for Kash Patel to take a flight after going to see his girlfriend and question me. And I will stand trial because I am an American and I believe in American values. But yes, I was once offered to lose a UFC fight. Now, granted, I was not athletically cleared to be in the UFC, but I thought about it. And then they said, like, hey, it wouldn't hurt if you took an L. And I said, yeah, but you got to pay for that if I were to do it, which I didn't, because I have integrity. And I think that really gets us to the core of the matter here, Tim. If you have integrity, you will not take any sort of bribe, because I'll tell you this, I've lost a lot and I've done so without being paid. So wait, I think that's more reason I should actually. I should get paid for my ads.
You just convinced yourself.
Hold on, I'm going to call my tax guy. Beep, boop, bop. Hey, tax guy, yeah, can I write off losses in the UFC? What's that? I can? Cash Patel approved it? Oh, this administration does crazy shit. Okay. Yeah, I'll sign up. I'll lose one now. I guess what I want to say is this, Tim. Maybe they're making it up, but if they aren't, there was a lot of heat around Jason Krause. And there were people who were wondering, why is it that organization? And it might be an easy target, but there's a lot that we don't know. One thing that we do know, though, is that Dana is in tight with this organization. So don't be surprised if it gets swept underneath, but that those people who came forward and said that they might have been involved or given an opportunity to throw it, maybe those people might have some harsh sort of things thrown at them in the near future as retaliation, because we do that now apparently in this world. But I want to think of this one last thing that I want to bring up to everybody here. Is it possible, and I'm not shaming anybody, I'm not trying to say they didn't actually have it, we don't know shit, but just follow me out here. Do you think there is some miscommunication that could have happened where they may have misconstrued maybe the amount of money they might have been paid, or misconstrued an opportunity to be paid to lose? Because I feel in some of the dealings I've seen with fighters, sometimes they don't know their exact purse. And part of that is they just don't do their research, or they don't really do that sort of stuff. Or two, they hire terrible managers or agents who, for any number of reasons, be it they have ties to that organization and they're double dipping, or that they're kind of shady to their agent or their representation, and they're not quite being forthcoming to their clients. So I wonder if that's any remote possibility that some of those things may be misconstrued. But if they have proof, my God, Tim, I think for the sanctity of betting, they will throw people under the bus so fast.
Yeah, Dana will be driving the bus.
Well,
honking it. Honk, honk.
You mean alleged huge owes amount of money Dana White, who once had to relocate to Vegas because he was ran out from a crime family in Boston? That Dana White? Go on. Never could happen. I just like the idea that Dana is the one leading this charge, has to go on TMZ. Right. It's like, what do you mean you guys are fixing fights? Nobody here fixed fights except for me. And I gotta tell you guys, if somebody else came up to you and asked you to fix a fight and it did come from me, that's not an official thing. So just know that. Only person I'm fixing fights for, John Jones. All Conor McGregor right now. And maybe Sugar Sean, depending on how much he's been training. We're not quite sure. But that Henry Cejudo, don't care. That kid can lose fights. I don't really care about that guy. So I think we have covered that one appropriately. And I have to say, you know what we truly think about integrity here? We love it! Let's move on to our next topic, which is that of the Dillon Danis rule. All right, maybe some of you don't know what's going on. Misfits MMA is an organization that Dillon Danis fights for. Yes, I know you heard that part right. Dillon Danis is actually and currently fighting. So he has fought for this organization. He is their champion. What? I know. A lot of facts you're getting all at once. But Misfits MMA kind of hears what you say about ground fighting. Kind of lame. They use a different word, usually. So they're thinking there should be a limit to the amount of time you spend on the ground. Tim, what can you tell us about this new rule that they're trying to enforce? And do you think it has any feasibility?
I think it's basically kickboxing then at that point. Like, you know, with some grappling, but trips, throws, takedowns. Look, is as much of a gigantic Dillon Danis fan as I am, I got to say this in his credit. He won the fight in 15 seconds. Like, how long was he on the damn ground that you got to create a rule to stop this? I think what they really want is a lever they can pull on anytime they don't like what's going on. I I think this was like the light heavyweight title. Look, Misfits MMA, newsflash, Warren Spencer and Dylan Dennis aren't, not a lot of people even knew that fight was happening. And that's no shade on anybody. I'm just saying it wasn't the UFC. This wasn't Aspinall versus Cyril Gahn. Okay. So this was just, okay, it's your light heavyweight fight. Great. It ended in 15 seconds. Sorry. Spencer got taken down, got mounted, gave up his back, and got choked. That's mixed martial arts. Now, if you want to call it misfit kickboxing, misfit backyard roughhousing, misfit kind of Muay Thai, like, go for it. But if you have a rule that says you're only going to be able to be on the ground for less than 15 seconds, because that's how long it took him to win. But maybe this speaks to Dylan Dennis more than anything else. Maybe this is like, damn, how do we get rid of this guy as our champ? What do we got to do? Oh, I know. We'll create a rule. Anytime he goes to the ground, we'll just be like, nah, too long on the ground. Got to stand back up. Maybe that's what the move is, but it just doesn't sound like mixed martial arts to me. It's kind of lame, to be honest with you. It's like, what do you guys want, man?
Okay. I feel like we put it here as the Dennis rule, but don't you get the sense, like, put odds and wager. What is the over-under? They refer to this as something gay rule. Because anytime you see two dudes going to the ground, to commoners, to people who don't train jiu-jitsu, and you're stand them up, it's gay. Like, I feel like that's the audience that they're trying to cater to. And I wonder, if you give that audience an inch, are they going to try and take a mile? Because it's a very dumb, uneducated fan. The question is there enough of those dumb, uneducated fans who pay for the fights? And I guess we'll find out real quick as people either illegally stream it or watch it or don't. And I have a feeling that when your main fighter is Dylan Dennis, the Jared Leto of jiu-jitsu, I wonder how far people are going to follow him. They might. And the dumbest part of this whole thing, since Dennis has met Conor McGregor, since Dennis has tried to be this weird, cringe bad boy who has followed pro wrestling and is trying to play out some of those storylines, the real question is, how much do people really want to pay to see that? And maybe taking away a superpower of his, because he is good at jiu-jitsu, maybe that's something that people want to see. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know what that one is. That one definitely does not get a we love it. So we're going to move forward. But you know what? You know what does get a we love it is Claudio Calasanz actually made history this week by becoming the only person to win a judo championship, an IBJJF championship, and an ADCC championship. Tim, can you please put into context for some of these people who want the Misfits stand-up rule to exist as to why this is one of the most unexpected yet incredible accomplishments in all of mixed martial arts?
Yeah, and Calasanz is, I will, and I want to give props to Claudio Calasanz because he has been a highly competitive jiu-jitsu athlete for at least a decade now. He is a very elite level grappler. He was very dominant in the gi for quite a while. Super good. That's look, whether you like the gi or not, it's hard to win worlds in the gi. It is not easy. The margins are thin. You don't see too many guys go in there and just wreck it for years and years and years. And when you do see that, you end up saying they're the greatest of all time, right? There's a handful of those guys and everybody else is like trading spaces every other year. On top of that, it's pretty rare to see somebody win the world championship IBJJF and then also win at ADCC. Not that it can't be done, but it's tricky. You don't see it as often. Now, add on to that the fact that Claudio recently went and won the Judo World Championships. I don't know what the numbers are. I'm assuming there's a handful of guys that have done judo and maybe IBJJF or judo and ADCC, but I don't know, man. Like I'm pressed to find an example on that. That's a major accomplishment. You're not just crossing two formats of no-gi grappling. You're also kind of crossing into a whole nother format with judo. And yes, there's similarities, but judo can be quite different. Very impressive, man. That's an awesome hat trick. If that was me, I would retire. I would retire on that. I would sell private lessons to executives who sit in an office all day, and I would chill, dude. I'd be like, I did this. What did you do? That'd be my game for the rest of my life. Give interviews.
But like, what else
endorse
do you
products?
Do you come up to like Naga and you're like, you know what? I never won one of these. I need to get one of those.
You just start.
So sorry, bud. Do you enter the Masters divisions and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna lap the competition. I'm gonna get one in the adult category and one for every Masters. Like, when do you stop? Because I just wonder if that kind of thing is addictive. Because how do you go from saying I'm going to win IBJJF to ADCC? That already in itself is not always the same person.
Yeah.
But in the common context of now saying, like, damn, there's a world where you can make money doing IBJJF and ADCC. People can kind of see that a little bit more. Before, you just try to win IBJJF for the honor of it and ADCC to get a little bit of scratch. Now, that's chump change. That's not even a Rotolo bonus on either of those organizations. So when you're thinking about it, and you're thinking about where you want to go, for Claudio to do that in judo, it sounds so insane to me. It's such a journey, and we have nothing but to say congratulations, huge fans, what an accomplishment. So, you know, you might say that Claudio is kind of like a certain team, that he went up against the odds and people just said, like, man, what is this guy all about? He just keeps winning, and man, I hate when people keep winning. That sucks. But, you know, I mean, the thing about it is, Tim, we love it.
Listen, get it all in, man. Get it all in.
Can I tell you something? This is an honest thing, since we have a break in the little format here. When I was a kid, if it wasn't for the Naked Gun, I don't know where I would fall on Randy Newman's I Love LA. I Love LA is this very standard thing that we've all kind of understand. It's an ironic song. It's not meant to be what it is, but it became this rally cry because they would play it after every Dodger game. So here you have this almost ironic song that we were like, shoot, let's just play it every game. Why not? That now fully embraced. I have gone the full journey of being like, dude, that's such a stupid song. Yeah, you can play it at the end. And you know why? Partially because I think when I hear them playing New York State of Mind over at New York, I go, that song's dumb. But New York loves it because they're just like, hey, let's hear it for New York. Yay. And I go, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, we love it. Let's just embrace it. And I feel like that's the best thing you do as an LA person. You literally hear what people have to say and you go, sure, whatever you think we are, done. We're going to go enjoy some championships and sunshine. Have a good one, guys. So that has been my journey of it. But yeah, I initially did not love I Love LA, but then it's hard to dispute. I saw the recent new Naked Gun. I really wanted to love it more. It's fine. It's fine. It's passable. And I wonder if that's how people felt when we were children and that spoke to us. But the baseball scene in the Naked Gun is perfection. Literally from start to finish. When Frank Drebin is an umpire that doesn't know how to call things and is just fighting with people in the montage scene and checking on different people, it's magic. And I keep thinking, like, did I like that because I was like 7? Or was I right? And the answer is I'm always right. So let's move on. Torture. Well, what one is this about again? Oh, yeah. This one sucks. Okay. Crow Cop came out and he basically said it is easier to get a medical degree than it is to get a black belt. Well, wouldn't you know it, Tom DeBlas couldn't hear something about vaguely jiu-jitsu and MMA without having an opinion on it and chimed in and said, well, actually, I don't know. It's kind of hard to do that. So I don't know if that's the case. Tim, why is this happening? Why are we discussing this? And why do we feel the need to juxtapose getting a doctorate to a black belt?
I think I'm going to side with Tom DeBlas on this. I think it's harder to get a doctorate than it is to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Honestly, there's a lot of dudes that get black belts in jiu-jitsu that don't have the brain capacity to finish junior college. So let alone get to a doctorate. However, having said all that, it doesn't surprise me that a fighter who, look, Crow Cop's awesome. You can see him doing the splits. Great picture, by the way. That is perfect. That's Mirko Crow Cop. He's gonna kick you as hard as he can. Of course, he's gonna say it's hard to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's not a grappler. It is hard to get a black belt if you don't get on the ground and train. It's hard as hell. It's like a big mystery. You can't figure it out. Now, so I get why he says that. On the flip side, my man Tom DeBlas, when DeBlas is saying this, for some reason he's got many personas in my brain, and I have different images of him based on his Instagram. When he's saying things, I close my eyes and I picture that version of DeBlas. The version of DeBlas that I picture this time is day one post-op turkey hair transplant Tom DeBlas, where it looks like he's in that movie Minority Report when they have like those sentient things in the tub. He's just like that guy, and he's like kind of there, and he's like, well, I disagree. Listen, I think DeBlas's latest track is that he is not posting anything controversial, but he's posting about controversial things. And lately he's been doing like the naysayer devil's advocate thing, being like super cool, like level-headed. People, let people say what they want. Let people do what they want. Which he kind of like, he gives an opinion, then he gives an admonition. He gives you, like, it's like when your preacher gets up on Sunday and he tells you about something, and then he admonishes you because you better get your life right. It was kind of like a little bit of that, Tom DeBlas. And I don't know, man, he must have a lot of time on his hands. He must be incredibly wealthy with lots of time, because this dude is murdering social media. He's all over it. If I can get a Tom DeBlas bot for Inside BJJ, I would for sure do it. Maybe we should look into that.
Okay. Listen, dude. I did follow up postgraduate studies. I was in that world. Nobody was trying to punch me in that world. Nobody was trying to tell me that you can't pull guard in that world. They're just different. Why do we keep comparing things that just don't fall into the same box? Yeah. I know we're trying to create analogies to give people a sense of the degree of difficulty, but why aren't both difficult? The way that Tom responded on this, and I'll put full screen on this, the way that Tom responded to this, the reason why I didn't love the argument was he was basically saying, like, I mean, I think getting a doctorate in education is harder because at least you can always show up for MMA, jiu-jitsu, all that sort of stuff. And the weird part of that is like, yes, some places will do that. The only thing that kind of is similar in this, I guess, weird metaphor to me is, if you're thinking about it in this way, both colleges have reputable and less reputable places that you can go to get your learning and to get a degree from. Same thing with jiu-jitsu. There are certain black belts that you go, damn, that's a legit black belt. Damn, that's a legit place. I just don't know why we're not comparing it to trade schools, or we're not comparing it to becoming a CEO. Like, anytime we do one of these weird analogies, they just seem to fall flat on their face. Because all you're doing is playing to your core audience of, yeah, degrees are easy. You just show up and you write things, or AI writes things for you, and then they give you a piece of paper. They're just different. That's all they are. And really all you want is your base to be like, yeah, we're special. That's really what we keep catering to is, yeah, we're better than them. Take that. Can you imagine going to a graduation ceremony with your black belt as they have on their hats and their gowns, and you're what? Coming in your gi and your black belt being like, bet this was much harder to get than what you guys got, huh? Yep. What'd you do with thesis? Did you have to defend it? Do you want to defend it now? Like, shut up. This is absolute nonsense.
That's a great idea, actually. You got to fight for valedictorian.
I just stupidly stumbled upon the next show I sell. All right, here's the pitch. This guy named Crocop, look him up. He said that it is harder to get a black belt than it is to get a degree in medicine. I tell you this. How about we put it to the test? Joe Rogan hosts it, or his cheaper Mexican equivalent, me. And here's what happens. We put people in a space. We give them 8 years. And then we see who wins. We film every single week. We put it on like Big Brother. We have special guest stars like, I don't know, Jennifer Lawrence, if she's got a movie to press. Put her there and then just keep selling it. And you build up the drama until finally, can you defend your thesis? Series finale. 8 years. I would like $3 billion. Thank you, Paramount Skydance.
You're smack on about the jiu-jitsu crowd has been trying to compare their belts to education forever. Oh, if you got a blue belt, it means you're this. If you got a purple belt, it means you're that. You get a black belt, that's like having a PhD. No, it's not. It's like going to Western Career College and learning how to drive an 18-wheeler in 12 weeks. It's not the same thing, man. Like,
I'll tell you,
it's like a weird chip on the shoulder of the jiu-jitsu world, man.
I'll tell you where I think it started. I think it started, and I could be wrong. This may be just a tale as old as time, but I feel like it started when I saw that Henzo, there's more philosophy on these mats than there is in any classroom in the world. Kind of quotation. I'm loosely quoting it here. When I saw that, and I realized that people just wanted something to cheer about, that's like, yay, jiu-jitsu, boo, school. And I go, what happens if you're in both? And what if you're a philosophy major? And what if you're Danaher? Danaher is just sitting there being like, excuse me. Very interesting that you brought that up. I will now write a full Instagram post espousing the ideas behind doing both. Thanks, Danner. Super appreciate that.
Gary, fetch my typewriter.
That'd be great. That would be great. Gary is reduced to a ball boy now at this point. Yeah, I don't know. When I saw that quote from Henzo and I see it make the rounds every once in a while, I just go, do we really need to feel that good about ourselves? Can't we just go beat up people and just be cool with that? Instead, it's got to be some weird pronouncement that's like, oh yeah, take that, baking school. You ain't doing shit. What? Oh, you made sourdough? Cool. I got a blue belt. Bitch. So
that's like a Michelin star, right? Yeah,
like
it's goofy, dude.
Well, this brings us to a point where earlier we said our integrity could not be bought. Well, guess what? Maybe it can be. Earlier this week, it was also announced that somebody, a wrestler, was looking to get his blue belt so quickly, but his instructor said, I'll give you a blue belt but it's going to cost you $800. Think about it. What do you make about this story? And follow-up question, just between us here. What's your going rate?
I mean, a man's got to eat. At the end of the day, a man's got to eat. You got to pay the bills. I'm never going to fault a man for paying the bills. Having said that, if you're going to sell the belt, $800, what do you, this is dollar store belt, man. What are you doing? A blue belt should be roughly $3,200, somewhere around there. Because you gotta calculate out all that tuition money that it would have taken them to get there, and then you give them 40% off. Why? Because it's underhanded, right? Like, we're not paying the government. There's a different price for this. So maybe you ask 32, you bargain down to 24. Okay. If you go too low, he's going to come back and want that purple belt for $1,600. And a purple belt's worth way more in the market than $1,600. 5 G's starting point for a purple. You can't just, that's easily 5 years of training. That takes a minute. So this guy, what he did, I get what he's doing, but he's cheapening his own product. If you're going to sell the belt, it's got to be at a premium. And you guarantee that this dude that bought the belt is never gonna rat on himself because he paid so much damn money for it. If you pay $800, you can go, I was a goof. I wanted to see if he would do it. That bitch did it. Ha, ha, ha. If you pay $3,200, you're taking that to the grave with you. You earned that belt. So my man's got it right a little bit, but he's got it wrong. So
speaking of people who get it wrong, Egg just showed up. So Egg's question to us: with a lot of attendance-based gyms, you should be able to calculate the cost fairly easily. Okay, Egg, you have 2 minutes. I am putting on a timer now. Fairly easily, 2 minutes, give me a cost. The rest of you guys, I will ask, what is your going rate? Stephen Aiken said, we talked about this today on our show, Moneyberg, I got black belts.
I got red and black. I got reds. I got everything, man. I can get all of it.
Let me say this. For a blue belt, I like where Tim was thinking. He was kind of going my way. How about this? Okay, forget what Tim's offering you. Hear what I'm offering you. How about we go with a $1,000 base? Now, hear me out. I don't have a fancy black belt like Tim, but I think it should be performance-based. So for every competition you win, you're going to have to pay an additional fee that is going to upscale with every increasing competition, be it at belt status or increasing level of difficulty. So we're going to start you at some local comps, get you into some grappling X's, get you into a Naga, make your way up. And then once you hit ADCC Open, you're going to have to pay me for every gold that you get. And don't think I'm not like Dana White and I won't figure out if you're fixing these things just to take silver, just so that you have to get through less payment. There is going to be tiers. So yes, even if you podium, you're going to have to pay me a little bit. Because guess what? You want that medal like you want that blue belt. So you're going to be paying for those incentives. And for every gold you get, it's going to be an additional $1,000 that I receive. So I'm thinking the more you compete, the more you show that you're black belt, or I'm sorry, you're blue belt. Black belt's a long way away, but we can make that happen. But the more that you show that your belt is legit, the more we accomplish together. That's just the difference between my plan and Tim's plan. You can pay up front. We can get some good education. Tim's a great instructor. But do you want somebody who's going to work with you after that blue belt? Blue belts disappear. I don't.
Yeah, they do. That's why I charge so much. I know they're not going to come back, but I like the model you're pushing. I would even consider saying the belt's free, but there's a licensing fee every time you want to wear it and use it.
Oh,
so
okay.
We're just gonna, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I like that. Tim, you should 100% workshop that so that if you go to certain people like a Danaher or a Henzo's, you have to pay more to wear that belt because you're licensing it to like some of the premium gyms. Love that. Okay. We have an update from Meg, who said 50 classes per stripe. 4 stripes plus final is 250 classes. 250 classes at 2 classes per week is 125 weeks, about 2 years. At a budget, $150 per month per gym, so $3,600. Did you include the test that it took to get that belt? You have to add on tests. You also have to add on how many staff members are teaching this person.
Yeah, right. I see what you're saying, but I'm not I don't do testing fees when I sell the belts direct.
Listen, dude, they have money. In this scenario, they have the money. Take the money.
It's a testing fee. They fail it like 6 times. Just keep failing. Does anyone ever fail a belt test? This is what do you remember the epic?
I have heard, yes.
Roy Harris would fail people. You remember Roy Harris? He was an epic OG jiu-jitsu guy. He had a hard ass belt test and he would fail your ass if you didn't pass it, dude.
Listen, dude, I am a proponent of, oh, you thought you were going to get this blue belt? Womp, womp. Back down the Candyland chute for you, sir. So I will. Oh, wait, hold on. I estimated a few less months because they probably hit 3 classes a week every once in a while.
Yeah, I like what you did there. Easily hundreds of thousands for
Stephen Aiken, what are you offering down there?
He's getting greedy. He's greedy. You could tell by looking at Aiken that he's greedy. He's got that look on his face, like he's
just take one look at his pocket handkerchief, and you know that dude is scheming for extra money. You know what it is?
He likes comfort.
He likes comfort. He's also got an Isaac in the back of his ear, being like, "I don't know, man. Asking for like $100, dude. Let's go $200K." So I'm just saying, we see how you guys do it over on y'all's show. But over here, we're for the people. Listen, people don't have government jobs right now. I think $1,000 plus incentive-based pay is a fair thing.
Yeah.
Let's go to this next topic. Okay, here's the fight none of you have asked for, but yet some of you will still somehow pay for. It does look like Nate Diaz admitted this week that he has accepted a bout against Jake Paul, who recently had a bout that was canceled. So the question is this for real? Is this wolf tickets? And why do we have to do this again? Tim, we go to our resident 909 expert.
909. I don't know where that is. That sounds like somewhere in Riverside or something.
Sorry, you're right. 209 and 909 are very similar to me. You don't know this, but very
209, 209, 209. I met a felon out here in Tennessee this week. I'm just going to share this story. And he's a Tennessee felon, and he was representing like he's super hard. And he showed me his driver's license, and it said Modesto, California. And I'm like, oh, you're from Modesto? Modesto's 209. It's right down the street from Stockton. I know Modesto very well. So what's up, man? What are you doing down? Oh, the state of Tennessee determined that I was a menace to society, so they paroled me. I couldn't come back to Tennessee until after parole, so I live with my grandma. And I'm like, okay, you're a menace to society. So I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm like, what did you do? What did you do, menace? Like, this guy kind of looked like a Jonah Hill that really lost his way. Like, didn't get into jiu-jitsu and surfing a few years ago. Like, got into crack, let's say. Anyway, he told me what he did. It was it was nuisance, not menace. You're a nuisance to society. So they're like, you can't come back to Tennessee, son. That's my 209 story. But listen, I always have a special place in my heart for the 209 fighters because it's a rough town. There's not a lot going on. It is dangerous. It's not fun. You know, so these guys, they develop this weird chip on their shoulder, but a lot of times they're good way deep down inside. They got something good about them. Having said that, I don't think it's necessary right now to see Diaz versus Paul 2. I know this is a reaction to the fallout of Jake Paul losing his previous opponent. his name just slipped my mind. Devin, it was the boxer. Got into some trouble over some domestic abuse charges, I believe, or assault charges. So they dropped him. They pull Nate Diaz in. Nate Diaz just posts, "Fight accepted, you're gonna die." That's like his message. And I kind of thought about it, and I think I'm going to take one from your playbook, Raf. I wasn't offered to throw a fight, but I have accepted a fight against John Jones. I've accepted it. He's not aware of it yet, but I've accepted it. And after having that fixed fight conversation, I'm actually letting y'all know I'm in the market. If anyone wants to approach me, I would be willing to fix my first fight, but I have accepted the fight. I don't know if this is actually going to happen or not. I'll probably watch it, but I'm not going to pay for it. It'll be kind of one of those things. I don't like Jake Paul beating dudes up that I really don't think he should be beating up. It's very frustrating to watch. Even though most of these guys are handpicked and there's probably some kind of exhibition contract in the background we are unaware of. But, you know, good for Nate. He's going to make some money. That's probably what it's really about. He's going to make some bread, and he probably needs to make some bread. So good on him. I'd much rather see Diaz versus McGregor 3. That's the fight I'd like to see. I think that would be a fun fight to watch. Now they're both kind of like at a point where that'd be a nice fight to watch. So.
Yeah, and you know what I say? When I accepted this fight, I was like, I don't know, Tim, I don't need money, but like, you know, sometimes when you got a kid now, it's like, shit, diapers in this economy. So it's like, all right, fine, I'm gonna beat this dumb bitch up, and then I'm gonna go do my thing. But like, fuck, dog, like that dude, he didn't even fucking beat me. I had him in a guillotine. Everybody knows, like misfit rules. I won, so that's what we gotta do. I think
hearing Nate talk about diapers and this economy might be the funniest thing I've heard you say, dude. Diapers and this economy, as if he's tracking the economy on a weekly basis.
Bro, when you're not fighting as much, you got time to read the paper, and I like read it like the Stockton bitch slap. I read it cover to cover, and I'm like, oh shit, are we in a recession, babe? Oh man. I get to read the arts and crafts section. I do the crossword every single day. What? Hey, Tim, what's 5-letter word for Conor McGregor?
Bitch.
That's right, bitch. I tried put it. I was like, bitch isn't 5 letters, and then I realized I always use an exclamation mark, and that's not a fucking letter. So whoops. So, anyways, whoops. I guess what I want to say is I don't care for this fight. We've seen it. I don't want to see Nate Diaz lose twice. And I'm not saying he's going to lose twice. But if it happens again, it's not worth these 1 minutes at the very end of the fight where we say, man, you got to respect him, man. I got a lot of respect for Nate Diaz. Because all it is trash and filth, and we don't know what the contracts say. We don't know what these things are being made out to be. But they make them out to seem as real fights when they're mostly just exhibitions. And every single time, increasingly you hear people say, you got to give it to Jake Paul. He's really coming into his own as a boxer. When the reality of it is, he's not boxing boxers, he's boxing weird-ass, hand-picked MMA fighters who just want to make some cash. And to me, I think we need a different term other than boxing. Influencer boxing is about as close as I've come to it. And if that's the case, Jake Paul is probably the best influence boxer there is. But they don't want that branding. They want to say they're running boxing, and because boxing needs an attraction, he's their guy. And because they've learned that sweet spot of where that exists and entertainment exists, they have brought it together. But I got to tell you, I have seen pro wrestling matches that are more real than that. So, yeah, they're that. Anyway, Tim, what can you tell us about this week's fight of the week, good sir?
It is a beautiful fight. This involves an Edgar who looks like he might have swallowed a couple Edgars and became a super Edgar. And he's fighting a shirtless man. So this is shirts versus skins. Takes place on a street corner. There's a taco truck involved, and there's a little juke move that happens. And this is what you don't see. This is why a street fight's different than a cage fight. There's no corners in a cage fight to duck behind and turn behind or pop out of. So there's a real surprise. And I want you to pay special attention to the end of the fight. There are a few very hilarious moments that pop out, and I'll try to call them out. But let's take this away, man. It's a real delightful matchup here. This has got to be like downtown. I don't know where this is actually, but I mean, it's Los Angeles. Could be somewhere else, though.
Hold on. What part of this world is this from, Tim?
I'm thinking it is from I think it's from shoot, man, I don't know. I was thinking of another city name down there. I couldn't think of one off the top of my head.
We love
from
it.
Bell Gardens.
We love it. We love it. I can't promise you guys this is going to be a regular fixture of the show, but I did tell Tim before we went to air. I did take 7.5 minutes to make those audio clips and put them on air, even though I shouldn't have taken the time to do that. I just said, Tim, can I have a few minutes to make something happen? You're like, yeah, sure. And I go, I promise you it's worth it. And I think I love LA. It is worth it, right? Like, it was worth our time.
It's not bad.
So let us go.
Bad. I would do.
You would do the same?
All right. Yes, I would.
Fair enough. I'm going to play it. Tim, walk us through it, sir, as only you can in 3, 2, 1.
Edgar leading off. Now he's fighting bald dude. Or I'm sorry, shirtless dude. He's like, hold my taco. He gives a little flex. Edgar's like, baby, let's go home. And then he cuts back around the corner, gets a nice single, picks him up, and drops shirtless dude on his head, and then goes Derek Lewis. Realizes his balls are hot, and this is how you know you got a real ride or die. She's like, let's go, baby. He's a bitch. And then he resurrects and throws a wild punch, misses, and takes a boot. And Edgar just now here's the pick. I got you. You got world starred. Now here's the lady, and then here's the actual cop. They just walk up. Edgar just walked off the street. The cops are like, dang, yeah, he kicked him good. And now they just kind of drag dude off the scene, man. What? I love to sneak back around the corner. Edgar's in juvie, man.
All right, I'm kind of excited for this one. All right.
This is good.
Here we go. 3, 2. All right. First off, this is an important storytelling element. So we see this dude. He's like, what's up, fool? What's up? I'm in my white shirt. What are you doing, fool, without the shirt? Are we fighting or what, fool? And the other dude is like, yeah, I'm going to take a minute from getting my asada tacos right now and come fight you. And this dude had the nerve to disappear and then reappear. What a genius strategy, Tim. Legitimately walking away like, nah, I'm nonviolent, fool. I don't fight people. I will turn the corner and I will be peaceful, bitch. Surprise. That's right. Oh, here's a takedown. He gets him up. And man, this is my favorite part. When people who don't know how to do takedowns suddenly figure it out in real time. This is like letting your white belts go on day one into competition class and going like, get a takedown. This is him being like, I don't know if this is going to work. And bam, fool. He dropped him like ice. Now starts hitting him in the back of the head, which is illegal in most contexts, but in street fights, it's good. Now, here's my favorite character throughout the whole story. You mentioned it, but this Latina coming over and be like, no, babe, he's had enough. Like, let him stop. Like, you need to, like, let him live, okay? Let's go. Like, he's stupid. Now I'm going to yell at you. You're stupid, and I hope you know. Oh, shit. When he comes back in for the surprise moment, the flying attack was the wrong choice because he's trying to hit him and surprise him like Spider-Man going after the Kingpin, only to go womp womp, hits it there, and the kick is what ends it. here's what you have to appreciate about Man in the Shirt. Man in the Shirt knows it's a walk-off home run. Watch this. Kicks him, boom, wins, knows, walks out of the stadium. And then, of course, the other friend being like, you got knocked the fuck out, like Chris Tucker in Friday, and puts it all in there. I love the heavy breathing. And then, of course, oh, wait, there were officers there? Oh, they just let this shit ride. Anyway, hey, you grab an arm, I grab an arm. Let's find the least effective way to pull this person off the streets.
It's like he dead.
He's super
drag
dead.
him off.
Let's make it worse and create more head trauma.
He got
no
killed.
problem. Hold on. Everybody, before we move on, because I understand it is important to take care of people. But look at this. Look at the organization that they have between the two of them. All right, you grab his right arm and I'll grab his left arm and we'll just kind of wave them up and we'll see. Oh, nope, that's not working. Okay, let's stop right there. Genius level fighting all around. What a beautiful way to end the show, Tim. Let's do this. I'm going to put the camera on you, my friend.
Stuff.
Where can people find you? Tell the people where they can continue to follow you on your journey through life, Tim.
My journey through this cosmic universe inside BJJ. I'm mostly active on Instagram and Facebook. I got a TikTok. Man, I just don't get how half this stuff works anymore. So I'm trying to get up to speed with that. I know, dude. I'm getting old. I'm 47, man. However, follow me anyway. If you're out in Nashville, come see me at 10th Planet Nashville. And if you're out in the 209, see my boys out there at 10th Planet Stockton. If the airports don't lose their damn minds in the next week, I'll be heading out to California on Thursday night. So I'll be in Stockton from Friday to Sunday. Come see us out at 10th Planet Stockton. If you're in the area, say what's up. Great stuff, Raf. The fight. I knew when I recorded that fight, it was good. But then I saw the hockey one and I'm like, let's go with the hockey one because I wasn't sure how good it was. And then today, right before the show, I was looking at it and I realized this is a gym. You know, shirtless dude tried a sneak attack back and he utterly failed. Like, what a perfect moment to get one back and totally whiffs it, man. So, yeah, it's like the Blue Jays. That's basically Blue Jays versus the Dodgers. That's what that fight was right there. That was Blue Jays, Dodgers. Shirtless guy was Blue Jays, and he got walked off on in the end. And the Royal Mounties had to drag his ass off. So good stuff. Great to see you, Raf.
Good to see you as well. I do want to make sure before we get off air, Tim, that I do tell you this. We have an update on the Ariel Helwani situation. A friend sent this to me while I guess we were on air. This happened or something to that effect. Kike clapped back at Ariel Helwani after he called out the Dodgers. And it shows Kike on Ariel Helwani's Instagram and said, cry emoji, cry emoji, cry emoji, laugh emoji. Suck it, Ariel Helwani, loser. Does 3 times World Series champ sound better than triple champ? And Ariel Helwani said, congrats on getting an A on the group project, Kike. Great read on that Clement fly ball, bro. All in caps.
Ariel's gonna Ariel, man.
Okay. And then Kike said, got me good there, L. Listen, dude. I don't know how to tell you this. Ariel, you have to stop while you're behind. Like, Kike is fun, and he's having fun with you, but in no way are you winning this. You just aren't. Kike is beloved and can make things go viral by just telling people he likes their nipples. Like, that's a dude who's just getting over from silly ass shit and has a good sense of humor. And Ariel's just being like, yeah, well, you know what? I cover fighting. Which may make it seem like I can fight, but I cannot. So
Kike, here's how Ariel will understand it. Kike is Craig Jones. Ariel is Mo Jassim. So there you go.
Don't even give Mo that. I don't even know that I want to put those two in those same category because I can't. Like, here's the thing. I was so prepared to be like, Ariel Helwani, good series. It was fun. Stop hating him. And instead, He went on the dumb cycle. And I said, there's nothing I can do. And it's not like I'm releasing our hundreds of thousands of people. We don't have as many followers as Ariel. I just feel a bound duty to say, like, hey, bud, we all do talk stuff. Maybe don't lose your credibility as a talk guy because you're saying dumb shit. Anyway, Tim, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you,
Thanks,
sir.
brother. Have a great one, Raf.
You as well. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching this installment of the Bullpen. I hope you guys are having a good day. It has been a great day for broadcasting and for grappling. So here's some reminders. Check us out at the Bullpen. Check us out at Inside BJJ if you want to see Tim stuff. Me at Grappling Hour. We got a lot of stuff coming tomorrow. I'm going to be making an appearance at the Ian Butler Silverback Wrestling high school tournament. Very excited. Going to be doing some interviews out there. Super stoked to be a part of that organization. And you'll see me do some live interviews. Very excited for that. You can also catch me pretty much every day putting up posts, doing stuff. But we've got some new interviews that are about to hit YouTube within the next week. And some incredible ones that are offered for our friends over at patreon.com/grappling hour, exclusively to them first and then everybody else after that. All right, folks. That is going to do it for us here at the Bullpen. My name is RAF ESPARZA. I hope you guys have a great Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed the World Series. I'm going to go get drunk now. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.